Welcome back to Cord Cutting This Week, episode number 50, the show where I give you my opinion on some of the biggest stories in the world of cord cutting. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories in the show, it's down below. I'll have a link to each story where you can read more about them. And come up with your own opinions. Leave me a comment. Let me know. What do you think? Do you have a different opinion? Is there a story I should have included? I'd love to hear from you. But let's kind of jump into it because there's been a lot happening this week and they're kind of interesting stories. The first one being Sling TV dropping HBO from the lineup as their parent company Dish and AT&T's Warner Media fight it out over carriage fees, and according to Dish, AT&T requiring Dish to pay for a guaranteed number of subscribers regardless of how many customers actually want to subscribe for HBO. AT&T is fighting back, saying that Sling and Dish, their parent company, is collaborating with the Department of Justice in their attempt to overturn the ruling that allowed AT&T to merge with Time Warner. According to AT&T, in a statement, said the Department of Justice collaborated with Dish in its unsuccessful attempt to block our merger. A Warner spokesman said that collaboration continues to this day with Dish's tactic to drop HBO. Not the other way around. DOJ failed to provide its claim about HBO at trial and then abandoned them on appeal. Now AT&T is saying, hey, we would have allowed them to continue under the previous agreement for a set amount of time. Dish has basically kind of said, well, that wasn't an acceptable solution for us. You're being saying AT&T's been unreasonable, basically. And it keeps going back and forth. And AT&T or Dish fired back at AT&T saying, AT&T is stacking the deck with free-for-life offerings to wireless customers and slashing prices on streaming services, effectively trying to force Dish to subsidize HBO on AT&T platforms. This is an extremely anti-competitive behavior that critics of the AT&T Time Warner merger warn us about. Every pay TV company should be concerned. So Dish is basically saying you're giving all these great deals to your AT&T wireless customers and you're basically forcing Dish customers, with Sling TV included, to bear the brunt and cover those costs. Now, Dish did testify against the AT&T Time Warner merger. During that, Warren, the president of Sling TV, said we would lose a lot of subs. There would be a severe bleed. It would be a loss for us and a win-win for them. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens here with this. I think we're only seeing the beginning of this fight too. Dish has seemed very willing to say, hey, if the deals are not favorable, if they're not something that we think that will sell to our subscribers and so forth, we're just not going to do it. We're not going to want to raise pricing. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think somebody said that what AT&T was wanting would have forced Dish to sell HBO around $18. Does that mean HBO is going up? Doesn't mean, just could mean that either Dish would have to take a loss of revenue on HBO or they would have to charge $18 to get it. The big thing I kind of understand Dish's point on is the fear over having to agree to a set number of subscribers, even if people don't actually subscribe to the service for that amount. Because with HBO Now and other services out there, it's increasingly becoming a concern that, hey, why would you subscribe through Dish or Sling when you could just go and get it through the streaming service? With Starz and other ones doing this, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Keep a close eye on this. AT&T has had a history of raising prices. You know, the deal happened, DirecTV Now's price went right up. So I think there's an interesting argument here, both sides. Is, you know, Dish was a mistake in their part to go dark instead of maybe agreeing to a longer negotiation before going dark? I don't know. I'd like to hear from you. Which side do you side with here? Do you think AT&T's in the right, saying, hey, we're going to charge you more, we're going to do this and that? Or do you think Sling TV and the parent company Dish dropping was the right move in an effort to keep costs low? Leave us a comment. I'll love to hear from you. Next up, speaking of live TV services, T-Mobile's new TV service has been a hot topic amongst cord cutters. Very excited about what they call T-Mobile is called a disruptive, put that in quotations, TV service they plan to launch. Now we learn, thanks to their third quarter earnings call, which happened this week, that it's unlikely to actually go live this year for the cord cutting version. Now the fixed location version, where it's like only in your home, will go live. The ability to stream it outside your home and do other things won't go live until next year now. So 2019 is when it's expected to go live. Now, the fixed location one sounds a lot like their Layer 3. Now, T-Mobile bought Layer 3 in an effort to kickstart their TV service, which has had mixed results. It's almost kind of a cable company. I call it a cable company more than a cord cutting service, in my personal opinion. Now, It's possible. Could they just rename Layer 3 to T-Mobile TV? Yeah, they could. That would be it. There you go. There's T-Mobile TV. It's only in a handful of cities, so you have to install a box in your home, just like cable or satellite or whatever. But the one that people are really interested in, the one they're kind of calling mobile T-Mobile TV or T-Mobile TV Mobile, the version you can stream at home or away, that's not coming out to next year. I know it's going to upset a lot of people. But we still don't know the price. We still don't know channel lineups. We still don't know anything about the service other than they plan to launch this year with a mobile and a more traditional home version, or with a more traditional home, and next year with a mobile version. Now, T-Mobile has said that they're struggling to get content deals that they want. They said Layer 3 is having to pay 20-30% more than their larger rivals. If you project that out, they would have to charge about $10 more to have a comparable package to Sling, Hulu, DirecTV Now, and more. So if Sling's at $25, they want an exact copy of it, they would have to pay $35 to the end customers. DirecTV Now would be $50, PlayStation Vue version would be $55 starting. So they're kind of saying it's not really competitive. They're hoping the Sprint merger will bring in enough subscribers where they can get better, more competitive deals. Be very interesting to see what happens with that. So keep a close eye on it. But I still think that T-Mobile has an opportunity here. I don't think anybody has it quite perfect. You see with AT&T, they've had great success with bundling their TV services with their wireless. T-Mobile could have the same great success doing the same with their 5G service and more. Bundling TV is a part of it, get a discount and more if you also get the mobile. Because cell phone plans are still crazy profitable, much more than TV plans. So keep an eye on that. Very interesting to see what happens with that story. Let me know, are you still excited about T-Mobile? Are you upset that the mobile, I'm going to call it the cord cutting version, isn't going live until 2019? Well, leave me a comment, let me know. Next up is another T-Mobile story that I find very interesting today. They have announced that they plan to have 5G in hundreds of cities in early 2019. Now the goal here would be to offer the 5G home internet version. Keep an eye on this. It's kind of an interesting move on their part to announce this without really giving a full list. They've also said they really want more of a take home and unbox it scenario. So with Verizon right now, the tech comes out and they set everything up for you and connect it and hook it up to your home. Then the 5G creates a Wi-Fi network. But Verizon's putting a small little dish on the outside of your home to help get better reception for 5G. T-Mobile just wants a 5G hotspot. Just take your cable modem, put it in your house somewhere, and it will create a Wi-Fi. You're all set. You plug it in, you log in your T-Mobile account, bam, you're good to go. That's a very different experience than the Verizon. The Verizon talks they want to go that way. Now, if T-Mobile gets that, they offer the home internet without the need to send a tech that you can just walk into Best Buy, you can just walk into Walmart and have it. I think that's a pretty convincing package that'll help them be competitive. We haven't seen AT&T's version of their package yet. And they're kind of backing off a little bit on the home aspect and pushing more of the mobile aspect right now, with like a little mobile hotspot and more. We'll see what happens. I think this is a very interesting. The fight that's happening in the world of home internet is no minor issue. It should be interesting a year, 2 years from now when even more services come on the market. How many TV companies compete in the world of cord cutting, and how many companies will kind of wrap up and say 5G was great, it didn't work out. Verizon seems to be very excited. They are saying that the early numbers are looking really good. I've heard everything from crazy high numbers to a little bit lower than what we expect. The truth is, as always, probably somewhere in the middle. So I'd like to know, are you excited for 5G home internet? What do you think of T-Mobile's plans to have hundreds of cities with 5G in early 2019? Because they're basically saying we can just do a software we're doing the hardware now, we can just do a software upgrade once we're ready to go live. I don't know, Verizon, if you're a Verizon customer, $50, about $300 down, no data cap. If you're not, $70 down, no data cap. It's pretty convincing, nice package there, so let me know. All right, last story of the day. AMC now owns Acorn TV and the Urban Movie Channel. So AMC has been a partial owner in them, about 30%. Now they've closed a $65 million deal this week to buy what's called RLJ Entertainment, which is the parent company behind Acorn and the Urban Movie Channel. And what it is, I think it's very interesting to see that AMC saying, hey, cable is great, but it's not the future anymore. So they just went down and spent $65 million to buy a couple streaming services. Acorn has had a great reputation for British content. It'll be very, very interesting to see what the long-term aspects of this are, how this goes in the future. But I think this kind of marks the beginning of what is likely to become a push of cable companies trying to say, hey, streaming's the future. How can we get into it? Buy up some different streaming companies, things related to streaming, in an effort to diversify away from just relying on their traditional AMC channels. Now, AMC does have their own streaming partners, but it looks like they're, with this, looking to expand it, probably give them access to additional content too. Let me know, if you could have any cable channel buy any streaming service or the other way around, what would you like? Are you excited that AMC now owns Acorn TV, or does that scare you if you're a fan of British television? Leave me a comment, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. But I included the story because I really do think it's the start of what I think will be a rock rolling downhill, pick up speed as cable companies and traditional media companies try to buy up streaming services in an effort to compete. Well, there you go. I hope you have a great weekend. If you're watching this on the weekend or wherever you're watching it, leave us a comment. I'd love to know how long you've been a cord cutter, where you're from. It's always great to hear from everybody. Well, I will see you next week, Saturday, for our weekly cord cutting recap show. Don't forget, every Wednesday, our cord cutting weekly Q&A live on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern, and all kinds of other videos. Check them out down below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I really appreciate your support.